Hold on, let me someone to play a video.
Check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Are you getting this one? Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, hey, testing 1, 2.
It's good. I think I'm getting the camera's microphone.
Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, hey. Mic check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. 1, 2. I'm gonna push it harder.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. I'm not peeking over there. Testing 1 2. Okay, I'm gonna check the other wireless. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2.
And I really need to test that podium mic. Okay. Check 1 2. You could. So this is G. Okay. I have monitor. Handheld G. Handheld G. Check 1 2. I'm about a foot away right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Check 1 2 2 2 2. Podium mic check. We good on that level? 1 2 3. I'm hitting it pretty hard. Okay? All right.
run through or we're fine here?
Yeah, do run through quietly.
Carry. Colors. Confident game. Ready? Cut. Forward. March. Left. March. Present. Colors. Okay. Last note. Carry. Colors.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for being here at the 2016 Riverside Unified School District State of the District Address and Luncheon. We are very, very proud to be hosting this event, and we're happy that you're all here. You know, every day, many of you who have students who are in the Riverside Unified School District or any of our neighboring school districts entrust us, all of the RUSD staff and teachers. You give us your trust to keep your students safe and to educate them. You guys have given us the opportunity to turn your students or your children into leaders of the future, and we thank you for that. But if you give us that trust, it's our obligation to let you know what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it. So that's why we're hosting this event today. My name is Justin Grayson. I'm the Public Information Officer for Riverside Unified School District, and I just want to kick it off. We have a lot of our amazing students here in the room. You'll get to see them a little bit later, but I want to thank all of the students and parents for being here. And we also have our student groups, so you'll see right now coming up to the stage, you'll have the presentation of colors by the Ramona High School JROTC, and immediately after that, the Pledge of Allegiance by Martha Nieves Gomez, as well as the National Anthem by Malia Moran. So please give it up for our students who are here in attendance, and we'll have the presentation of colors.
Colors. Ready? Cut. Forward. March. Left turn. March. Color guard. Halt. Present. Colors.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ready? Cut. Left turn. March.
So now we'll have a short 15-minute break to eat. And during lunch, I did want to just say that we will have the Martin Luther King High School show choir that will provide us with some entertainment during lunch. So if you haven't already started digging into your plate, now is the time. And for about 15 minutes, you have time to eat. And right after that, we'll get into the main portion of our show. Thank you.
Baltimore! Don't change that channel, cause it's time for the Courtney Collins Show. Brought to you by Ultra Clutch Hairspray.
Every afternoon when the clock strikes 4, a crazy bunch of kids crash through that door. They throw off their coats and leave the squares behind.
And then they shake it like they're losing their mind.
You'll never see them frown, cause they're the nicest kids in town. Every afternoon you turn your TV on. And we know you turn the sound up when your parents are gone, yeah. Then you twist and shout for your favorite star.
And once you practice every sentence in your repertoire, you
Better come on down and meet the nicest kids in town.
And I'm the man who
Okay. Let me get myself together while my tongue cools down from the heat of that barbecue sauce. I just wanted to make a quick reference to what you have on your tables. So all of you see the blue brochure. This is kind of our communication to the public of a lot of the things that the school district is doing. You'll see and hear some of our things that we've kind of deemed as our accountability measures, as well as some key actions that we're going to be taking in the future. The local control accountability plan is just the way that we're spending money locally. So we wanted to make sure that everyone in the room had this brochure. So take it with you, look at it, and we just wanted to make sure that we are communicating at all times with you. So with further ado, I'd like to bring up the president of our Board of Education, Mr. Tom Hunt, to give his remarks from the board.
You know, as I was coming up here, I asked CBU Provost Dr. Chuck Sands to say a little prayer for me. So if I go bad, you'll know that the Lord does support separation of church and state. But not that he didn't try for me. Yes, I am Tom Hunt. I'm very proud to be here. I'm the president this year of the Board of Trustees. And on behalf of my fellow trustees, I'm going to allow me to recognize the following distinguished guests that have joined us. You're all our distinguished guests, but just a few we'd like to have you meet. If they just, in the Riverside tradition, if they'd stand when their name is called, remain standing, you hold your applause. The Cindy Roth rule there will be fine. So first, our good friend and from the County Board of Education, Dr. Wendell Tucker from their Board of Education. Hold it. Must be the county people. Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hestron. You know what? Go ahead. What the heck? That's all right. That's all right. I'm not a teacher. I can't hold a classroom like they do. City of Riverside Mayor, teacher on loan, Rusty Bailey. Our good chief of police and friend, Sergio Diaz. City of Riverside Council member and RUSD graduate, Andy Melendrez. City of Riverside Councilman and RUSD graduate, Paul Davis. City of Riverside Councilman, USC graduate and RUSD graduate, Chris MacArthur. And City of Riverside Councilman, John Bernard. Our good partners over at RCCD, the president of their board, Virginia Blumenthal, along with Trustee Mary Figueroa, Trustee Janet Green, my classmate from La Sierra, Bob Schwant from Alvord Unified, and I believe Ben Johnson is also here. Ben's finished up 21 years on their board. Hi, Ben. Thank you for all you do. University of California, Riverside Chancellor Kim Wilcox, Riverside Community College, Riverside City College President Dr. Isak. And because she never gets called on because she's usually got the microphone, and a great community leader and a great friend to RUSD, Cindy Roth, President of the Chamber of Commerce. Can we have your applause? You may be seated. Thank you. And if I have one more group to stand up, just so I'm proud to introduce my fellow trustees. They're a pleasure, I can't emphasize that enough, to serve with our Vice President of the Board, Trustee Brent Lee, Clerk of the Board, Trustee Patricia Locke Dawson, newest member of the board and really dynamic, Trustee Angelo Farouk, Dr. Angelo Farouk. Sometimes she doesn't like it when I say this, but the dean of our board, and long-serving and community volunteer and just a wonderful board member, Kathy Allaby. Thank you much. On behalf of these individuals and welcome to the 2016 Annual State of the District Address. This is the restart of an annual tradition, one that is consistent with the belief of this governance team, the superintendent and the board. This report is not only vital to our partnerships with you, our civic, education, and business communities, but equally it is our duty to provide a conduit for open communications, constructive and critical, and ensure how together we can advance the educational opportunities and life and career skills of the young people that are the future of our community. As Nelson Mandela observed, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Well, wouldn't that be true as well locally? Quality education, personalized learning, providing choice in our K-12, recruiting and retaining outstanding teachers and personnel. Combined, these are powerful, they become into a powerful weapon we may bring forward in creating a stronger, more welcoming, inclusive, and economically successful Riverside. Where we come from, with kudos and salutes out there to they were there first, the Trujillo Adobe. The colony of Riverside was founded in 1870, and public schools began in 1871. The Riverside Unified School District was established from various constituent districts in 1907. RUSD has been instrumental from our earliest times in defining Riverside, and this was never more apparent than in 1965 when the board, and let me say those names, you don't hear them that often, but you hear Art Littleworth, he was president. Ms. B. Ray Sharp was vice president. Mrs. Evelyn Kendrick was the clerk. Mrs. Margaret Hers and Dr. Vernon Stern, and with Superintendent Bruce Miller at the helm. That 1965 governance team, these magnificent Riversiders, in a time of great national social discord and civic unrest, determined to lift our community schools to a higher plane. They determined to lead rather than be led. They set into motion a plan that had RUSD become the first large school district in these United States to voluntarily desegregate their schools. They did so with forethought, with inclusion of Riverside's diverse community and elected leadership, and they did so without violence and social discord. I believe it would be difficult, I personally believe it would be difficult to argue otherwise, that these actions, the way they went about their duties, the care they displayed for all citizens of all races, and for our future, as our future as a city of promise, a city worthy of a UCR, a great community college system, private universities like CBU and LSU with vision and nerve, that the Art Littleworth-led governance team, with bold and yet correct action, I contend is the high water mark for this community's collective soul. And it certainly is for us, the board. The 1965 Board of Education is the inspiration we, as your 2016 board, silently recall each time we come to that dais twice a month, and prior to, as we come together under co-governance committees and to craft our agenda. We hold ourselves accountable today and focused on tomorrow. And to be like them, to be bold and dedicated to advancing the minds of young Riversiders, to be visionary, and to be visionary as our peers were in 1965. I'll admit as an RUS trustee that when I enter the meeting room there at the Old Palm School, I think about the standard the 1965 board set and try to address issues and ideas accordingly. I also think about the words of Mark Twain, who said, in the first place, God made idiots. That was for practice. Then he made the school board. So that keeps me humble. And I wonder sometimes why Mark Twain said that, but if you think about it, that great observer of American life knew that schools were important. He talked about it in his books. I mean, Tom and Becky got the chance to go to schools where someone who didn't have the ability, like Huck, didn't. And of course, Jim and his children that he so cared about it in this story when you read, would have no opportunity. He was saying to us, because he had seen school boards mess things up, how important our role can be and how easily, if we're not careful, and if we don't build partnerships, we can mess it up. Needing to be a better neighbor and partner, 2.5 years ago, the unanimous decision was to bring Dr. David Hanson back to the district and as our superintendent. With his background in education and leadership capacity, the board is tasked him with tearing down internal silos and building bridges towards creating partnerships with you. Dr. Hanson ushers in a change we needed and is enhancement where previously neglected. David Hanson is a gentleman, someone dedicated to leading by example and raising up other leaders within RUSD. I particularly want to say raising up other leaders within RUSD. He prizes innovation, he expects and he warrants loyalty. Essentially, he, along with the RUSD board, is creating the new RUSD, dedicated to the entrepreneurial and community-led spirit of the board of 1965. And with all these reasons, the board just recently, I just want to say this, extended David's contract to the maximum allowed to state law, so we're stuck with him to 2019. Now, what about the future? As you're aware, we have a bond measure on the November 8th ballot, Measure O. I was the one that had the slogan, "Oh yes," but Ophelia overruled me. So it's yes on O. You and I and our fellow citizens who care about this community's best future should and must be darn determined to push Measure O to victory and gain that 55% plus one vote. I want to thank and recognize right now, so many of you in this room that have done so much, but Ophelia Valdez-Yeager, a former school board member, a dedicated community member, a grandmother who cares about the future, where we're going, has done, along with the team she's assembled, a wonderful job. Thank you, Ophi. The reality is that within the boundaries of RUSD, there are a lot of properties under general obligation bonds that are not taxable. Most of downtown Riverside are the courts, the county, the city. These are all prevalent spots which, under law don't pay center property tax. We also have CBU, we also have Sherman, we have CSDR, all within the boundaries of RUSD. And we wouldn't trade any of them for a high-end housing tract. As you know, these are our attributes. And yet it's incumbent upon us then to leverage these relationships, even create partnerships with these friends, and find mutually enhancing programs and investments we can together pursue. With the passage of Measure O, we will, before the end of this calendar year, sign a 50-year lease with UCR to build a STEM high school on the Highlander campus. That was the business leader shouting out the yeah of that, because she knows what it means. And this achievement will advance not just the education opportunities for those 9th and 12th graders attending, but also the entire district will be involved, and we'll explain that some other time. But just for the moment, think how a science, technology, engineering, and math-focused high school on a UC campus will serve to enhance the marketing of Riversiders to employers and investors to come here, to bring good jobs and raise our economy. Again, that's a partnership. I would be remiss, and the board would be upset at me, if I didn't acknowledge how the conversation to create this alliance with UCR wouldn't have happened unless, as we asked them to do, Dr. Hansen reached out to UCR and was met there with a visionary and very community-minded, receptive ear in UCR Chancellor Kim Wilcox. Thank you, Chancellor Wilcox. And to your quality team. And thank you, Kathy Allaby and Patricia Locke-Dawson, for your leadership on this dynamic vision, the time that you put in, as well as the work of many community leaders, STEM parents, in particular STEM parents, and a few notable local guardians of education. Gordon Borns, Mr. Borns, thank you. And Sue Johnson, I saw Mrs. Johnson, thank you so much. Have been very much in the leadership, working with us. And I do want to mention another name, sadly missing today, our friend, Dr. Pam Kalut. Now back to Measure O just for a moment. Measure O will first seek to replace modular classrooms on most of our campuses, in fact all of our campuses, with permanent, in most cases, 2-story buildings. Just to give you an idea why that's important, Poly High School opened in 1965. It was, there you go, Poly. It was built for 1,600 students. This morning's population is right about 2,800 students on that same postage size. In fact, there are on certain campuses, and I'll just tell you one, there are some modulars on Poly's campuses that our mayor, who may be a very young mayor when it comes to California, but let me just point this out. Our mayor actually taught in one of these modulars from 2002 to 2012 before we loaned him out to the city. But even more importantly, our mayor, class of 1990 Poly High School, sat in that same modular for classrooms. So we have many classrooms that are temporary, that have been around for a lot longer than they need to be. I believe the Measure O will pass, but we can never be too confident. I thank many of you in the room today, again, council members, the mayor, civic and business leaders, and education leaders who have endorsed and donated towards this important campaign. Please vote, speak to your neighbors as to the importance of this bond. As they would say in Louisiana, vote early and vote often. So what is the downside besides qualifying for Mark Twain's epitaph? What is the downside if we fail in partnerships with you? Recently, California Attorney General Kamala Harris was here in Riverside, and she noted in her remarks, and I no doubt our district attorney and good friend Mike Hestron would affirm, across the USA, from California to Rhode Island to Florida to Maine, 85% of all felons locked away in American prisons share the commonality of being a high school dropout. The connection is clear, it's present, and it's dangerous for all sectors of our community and economy to ignore. Great schools make great communities. It continues with communication and partners like you. As Plato said, the direction in which education starts a man will determine his future in life. I'm proud now to introduce you to a young man whose education is starting him in just that right direction. We're very proud of him. And please join me in welcoming senior from North High School, Joshua Beverly, to the stage. Josh?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you again, our board president, Mr. Tom Hunt, and our superintendent, Dr. Hanson. Thank you for allowing me to be here and to share with you all today. First, before I like to say anything, I want to give all glory to God. Through him, all is possible. Secondly, to my mother, who's always been supporting me from day one. Thank you. I know what some of you may be thinking right now on who I am, what am I about to say, and why am I rocking this nice flat top. To answer those questions, I'm Joshua Beverly. I'm the son of Michelle Fraser Beverly and Claude Beverly Jr. I'm a senior at the illustrious John W. North High School. And I'm not only the product of my parents, but the environment that I raised in. An African proverb that my mother believes in heavily says, "It takes a village to raise a child." And I believe that as well. So after my parents' divorce, and I moved to this district from Lancaster, after being there all the way through 7th grade, I felt betrayed. How am I going to have to start all over again? Make new friends at an 8th grade school I never heard of in a city called Riverside where there's no actual river in it. So my first day at school, I got there a little early before class started, and I was sitting by myself. Had no one, didn't know anyone. I didn't even know where my first class was at. But 2 people came up to me, names Terrell and Brian. They introduced themselves. They said hi, asked my name, and they asked me to hang with them. Then I met my new friends, Parker, Josh, and Brandon. And I know those names may only live in this moment, but I'll never forget that day. Instantly, when I came into this district, I felt the warmth and the compassion of the people here, and I knew I was going to belong. The rest of my time at University Heights Middle School involved me being buried in the AVID program. New experiences and some hardships. Through AVID, I emerged as a leader of my peers, and I had the opportunity to implement new programs on campus to change the culture and cultivate a new environment. Through a program I call Dress for Success, on every Wednesday, we sort of got suited up and started a new culture on campus of sharing about our visions of the future, about becoming the person who we want to be after graduation today. And that changed the culture and changed the environment, and it also propelled us for individual success. And I'm very proud of doing that. I was also involved in the Club Live program, sponsored by the Riverside County Friday Night Live. Through that program, we developed and implemented an environmental prevention program. Distracted and drug driving was our cause and the thing that we wanted to stop. The project became very personal when one of our own students died on his way back from Thanksgiving break due to a drug driving accident. We implemented the project, and we was honored on the county and on state levels for our distinguished spirit and everything we did on our campus. From starting a new middle school months prior, not knowing anyone, I graduated with being awarded the Principal Pride Award, the Master Historian Award, the Mary Catherine Swanson Award, and the President's Education Award. Also, thank you. Also, through my involvement in the Du Bois Institute's Rites of Passage program, I was recognized and honored by State Senator Bill Emerson. And that all sounds great, and I loved it, but I had to start high school next year. And none of those accolades, nothing I did followed me there. So there are days when it took me a little longer to get to school because I was worried that I'll be ridiculed as a nerd if I came in a shirt and tie every Wednesday. So to combat that, I decided to be a freshman football player. I played freshman football on the coaching staff of Richard Austin, who we simply called Coach Austin. He never let us forget that we were student athletes in that order. We were students and then we were athletes. He always told us that what we do in the classroom will come to the field. So I took that to heart. He passed away 3 years ago this day, midway through our season. That brought our team a lot closer together, and it brought us a lot closer together in the classroom. And that's what's the most important thing about it. So I know he'll be proud that I stand here today to speak to all of you. The following school year, I got involved more on my campus in our student government, the United Student League. I became the class of 2017 president. Oh, thank you. But everything started to change in my sophomore literature class. We had a project to present, and the prompt was very simple. It was to present a project that you have great glory and honor to, something that you have a great passion for. And everyone thought I would do something regarding to sports because I played football and I ran track. But sports wasn't my real passion. I like to write poetry in my own time and in my own space. So after getting the A on that project, my whole high school career changed. And that was the first time I performed poetry in front of a crowd, and that definitely wasn't my last. Last year, my junior year, I became heavily involved in our Black Student Union and heritage programs on campus. I was a keynote speaker at our first BSU Uplift Conference and at the RUSD Student Leadership Exchange, both hosted on John W. North High School. I've been invited to speak at board meetings. I was honored to be the MC, one of the two MCs for the RUSD Celebrating Student Success Ceremony, and I was again honored to perform poetry last year at the RUSD Heritage graduation. Now, in my senior year, I've been recognized on school district, city, and county levels. I have high ambitions for after graduation to attend Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm undecided on what I really want to study, but I do know after all my schooling and education, I want to come back to this district, to this city that helped me become the person I am today and be a role model for the next generations. To again answer those initial questions in the beginning on who I am and what I'm about to say and why my flat top's so nice, I'm Josh Beverly. And for the past 4 years I've been in this district, I thought I was being buried in responsibilities and hardships. I know now that I was not being buried in everything that was going on, but I was being planted. I was planted into this city, I was planted into this school district to grow to the person I am today. And I'd like to take this time to thank all those who helped me do that. Our board president, Mr. Tom Hunt, thank you. Our district superintendent, Dr. Hanson, thank you. Our mayor, Rusty Bailey, thank you. To all my parents, not all of them, but well, you know, when you get close to a teacher, they come like your mom or dad, but to my teachers, mentors, and everyone who helped me get to where I am today, thank you. Thank you to our new principal, Dr. Pamela Mashana from John W. North High School, for your leadership there. Thank you, really appreciate it. And right now, I want to take this time to share what I'm most proud about. It's about being known as a poet in the district. And I'd like to share a poem right now, if you allow, to sort of encompass what it means to be a student and how I feel about it, entitled For the Student. For the student who can't wait for the day to end, because at school you just don't blend. You may have one or two awkward friends who don't wear the newest shoes and don't follow the newest trends, who have ambitions to be outstanding but afraid to stand out. You'll try something new, fall short, and have to extend your hands out, but that's okay. Because success is not easy. So if you fall forwards. At least that's in the right direction, and then roll onto your back, because you can look up, you can get up. For the student that's been called a bad apple, you aren't the problem. It may be the basket you're sitting in. And I know you'll paint yourself red before anyone can notice the bruising. I understand that it feels like a really long day, and you may be losing. I understand how much you hurt, I understand your pain. but you must remember our fundamentals, the ABCs. Always be creative. Dream enthusiastically for greatness. Have imagination. Just keep learning. Mistakes nurture opportunities. Perfection quits reality. So truth, unapologetically, validates what Xeroxes your zealousness for the student that tries to build a metropolis with walls that conceal everything inside like a whispered promise, with false confidence that hangs from your back like a red cape. You try to fly so fast through your lowest lane and still expect the stress on your chest to not be bright red and bold. I understand your pain. This is for every student that doesn't believe in their brilliance. This is for every student that doesn't believe in their beauty. This is for every student that still has self-doubt, that you must believe in your brilliance, you must believe in your beauty, you must believe in who you are, because you have potential to be anyone you want to be. Because I'm a student just like you. I'm a student who has a hard time getting up in the morning. I'm a student who stopped liking math when they put letters into it. I'm a student just like you. And I got school tomorrow, so tonight I'm going to go to sleep and do it all the next day. Thank you. Thank you. You can sit down. Now, I have the esteemed honor to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. David Hanson. He took the helm as Riverside Unified School District's 11th superintendent on July 1st, 2014. For the past 26 years, he has educated and led thousands of staff and students throughout the region. Prior to becoming superintendent, he served as an assistant superintendent in nearby Corona Norco. For the first 19 years of his career, he worked in RUSD as a teacher and administrator, serving as an assistant principal at both Central Middle School and Pauley High School. He has also served as a principal at Matthew Gage Middle School and Arlington High School. Dr. Hanson started his career as a teacher at Central Middle School. Dr. Hanson holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in Industrial Technology Education from Brigham Young University, a Master's degree in Educational Administration from California State University, San Bernardino, and a Doctorate of Education focusing on educational leadership and from the University of Laverne. He and his wife, Diane, have 6 children and 5 grandchildren. And before you see Dr. Hanson, we have a short video to show you all how great and the great things we're doing in this district. Video will play.
Smile is the Good afternoon. We all came here to hear the state of the district, and this is the state of the district, right here. And you saw the students performing beforehand. I mean, really, we could all pack up and go back to school and go home and go to our work offices, because Josh is awesome. And I can introduce you to 1,000 more Joshes, thousands of more Joshes throughout the 42,000 students we have in Riverside. So one more time, Josh, thank you very, very much. Good afternoon, and on behalf of the Riverside Unified Board of Trustees, it's nearly 4,000 employees and our 42,000 amazing, hardworking, and intelligent students, I give you a warm welcome to this year's State of the District. Your presence here today absolutely speaks volumes about where we are as a city and where we want to go. It truly indicates where we are as a community, and that we are a community who deeply cares about its future. First, I'd like to thank the Riverside Unified Board of Trustees for putting us in the position to share all of this good news with you today. I would also like to thank our student board members, the first time in the history of the district, as far as I'm aware, Jerry Zahn, Nicole Jacobson, and Alex Herrera. It's absolutely a pleasure to have these three come and join us on the governance team. I'd also like to acknowledge members of Executive Cabinet. Not only are you amazing team members, but you're some of my very best friends. It's absolutely a pleasure to work with you. It's wonderful to look out today and to see a very powerful community. We're all hosted or gathered in one room, many sectors of the community, and we're here to hear about our district, the Riverside Unified School District, and its state. We also have with us, and I'd like to take a moment to recognize, the lifeblood of the Riverside Unified School District. We have students, parents, and staff members. If you're a student, if you're a parent, if you're a staff member, would you please stand so that we can give you proper recognition? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know students, getting pulled out of school is the last thing you want to have happen to you today. We're grateful to have you with us, and parents, thank you for bringing and sharing your children with us each and every day. This event makes me think of another event that I attended most recently. Actually, it happened at UCR. Author and Harvard professor Robert Putnam gave a lecture at UCR, and he talked about the widening income gap. And he argues that it has had a profound impact and change upon the life of families, neighborhoods, and schools in ways that give advantage to the children at the top and make it a lot harder for those below to work their way up. And he calls this the opportunity gap. Well, one of his statements during that lecture really resonated with me and struck me. He said this: the most effective solution to solving this opportunity gap, he said, is when local communities pull together and share their resources to find solutions that fit perfectly the context just right. And the power of community is absolutely the key, is what Dr. Putnam talked about. And so let me share with you several examples, because right here in Riverside, we have begun to do just that very thing. Completion Counts is the first example, and 6 years ago, both of the school districts in the city, Alvord and Riverside, along with higher education, civic leaders, and business leaders, took action to improve graduation and college-going rates. And one result was the Riverside City College Compact, which guarantees priority registration for dedicated students. A second example, we just held our 4th annual Pathways to Higher Education conference in partnership with our very own Senator Roth. and over 300 students and families had the opportunity to become better informed about the college admission process and financial aid. Another example, we are continuing our conversations. Well, recently we signed an MOU with the University of California at Riverside. You heard President Hunt talk about that briefly. We formalized the number of UCR graduate students supporting RUSD students in the study of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math careers. And we are continuing, as you heard, our conversations around the reality of building a STEM center on the UCR campus. Just imagine for a minute, students K through 12 every day going to school on a college campus, exploring a variety of pathways in the field of STEM, and they're preparing them for the future. Another example, probably one of the best examples that we have of this partnership, is again with UCR, the City of Riverside, and the Riverside Unified School District. It's the AmeriCorps program. Last year, in 8 of our schools, we had over 900 students mentored by 90 UCR AmeriCorps tutors. This year, we've expanded that program to increase the number of tutors and to add one more school, making a total of 9 UCR students coming and mentoring our kids K through 12. Another example is with Riverside City College. For the first time, we now have the ability for our high school students to be enrolled in a college course without ever leaving the high school campus. 2 of our high schools have this right now. We have college classes being taught at North High School and Ramona High School. And this spring, we hope to see all 3, the other 3 comprehensive high schools with this program as they prepare for their pathways leading to careers. A 5th example, as I look out and see members of the chamber, is the college fairs that RUSD is the benefactor of. This past month, RUSD partnered in 2 different college fairs. One was sponsored, as I mentioned, by the chamber and hosted at the Galleria at Tyler. Approximately 7,000 students attended. We're able to hear from representatives from over 170 different colleges, employers from around the company, and many of the country, and many of the students who joined us even came from districts around and our private school friends. In addition, RUSD partnered recently with an organization called UCAN and sponsored a historically black colleges and universities fair for our high school students. And at this fair, you just heard one of them, 290 students received on-the-spot conditional acceptance letters. And they walked away with just over $650,000 in scholarship money. Many thanks to the UCAN for your partnership. I would absolutely be remiss if I did not mention the STEP conference, the Science, Technology, and Education Partnership. Just 2 weeks ago, 6,000 students from our region, 1,700 of which were from Riverside Unified School District, spent half of a day visiting more than 60 different exhibits loaded with STEM information and other hands-on activities. And this event absolutely would not be possible if it were not for the local, state, and national political leaders that helped support this event, and the generosity of Mr. Gordon Borns and a host of other business leaders from our region and around the country. Thank you. Thank you to my friends and colleagues on the STEP board, and a special thanks to Mr. Borns for your generosity and commitment to students and to the sciences. Most recently, RUSD entered an agreement with, I'm looking at Jennifer, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, to provide sustained one-on-one mentoring, which Robert Putnam in his book mentions could provide the most effective impact for communities to close that opportunity gap. Thank you for your partnership, big brothers, big sisters. So completion counts, mentoring, providing access to attend college and making careers become a reality. All are methods that will help close the opportunity gap. Also, these partnerships are building hope in the lives of our students. Now, the Gallup organization defines hope as this: having ideas and energy for the future. And Gallup has been studying this along with student engagement since the 1930s. And they have learned that, yes, hope is indeed a strategy. As a matter of fact, Riverside Unified is in our third year of a partnership with the Gallup Institute, where they are helping us keep a pulse on student learning, hope, well-being, and engagement. Student engagement has been a long-standing interest of this Board of Trustees. Why? Well, because we know from the Gallup data that each year students are in school, they become less engaged. We also know that when a student is engaged in the here and the now, hopeful about their futures, and they have an overall healthy well-being, they will more likely become successful and productive adults. What Gallup has learned through their research is that youth who, number one, agree that their school is committed to building their own strengths, and number two, have at least one teacher who makes them excited about the future, those students are 30 times more likely to be engaged while at school. I read a quote once that said this: "Our greatest contribution is to be sure that there is a teacher in every classroom who cares about every student every day and learns and grows and feels that they are a real human being." It is our goal in Riverside Unified that every student has the opportunity to know, to apply, and to leverage their strengths. And there are specific actions that we are taking as a district to increase student engagement. Let me share with you a few examples. Maybe you've heard of School Plus 2. This is where we want students to go to school and then be involved in at least 2 other co- or extracurricular activities. We know that consistent involvement in extracurricular activities is strongly associated with students who get more involved in the here and now and have greater success once they leave school. One study shows that kids consistently involved in extracurricular activities are 70% more likely to go to college than the kids who are only sometimes involved. In athletics, for the last 4 years in our districts, or 4 years ago rather, we had a limited 9th grade athletic program and a reduced overall high school athletic department. Today, after adding in the last 4 years an additional 33 teams, we now have approximately 900 more students, athletes, who are able to participate. And we currently have a total of 249 athletic teams spread out through all of the 5 comprehensive high schools, with a couple of thousands of students participating and involved in part of a team. 4 years ago, we had a very limited number of middle school programs, and it was very informal. Now we have 11 different athletic teams in the intramural programs at our middle schools, with hundreds of more kids participating and connected to their schools. I also want to point out that we now have 25 elementary schools participating in science camp, mostly supported by funds of the district. As compared to 3 years ago, we only had 16 schools participating in science camp, mostly supported by fundraising. Moving from science to visual and performing arts, prior to the Great Recession in 2007, we had 1,300 of our elementary school students enrolled in music. And today, we have over 2,200 elementary students enrolled in music, and just this year we hired 1 more full-time music teacher. Most recently, we have plans to partner with the Harmony Project, originating in LA, to come into 3 of our elementary schools, Beatty, Highgrove, and Bryant, to bring music education to all transitional kinder and kindergarten students. That's all the kids ages 4 and 5. And I look out and I see Colette Lee. Thank you for her leadership and her support in this endeavor. And currently we are in the second year of partnering with the Riverside Art Museum and their Art to Go program, where every elementary school student in grades 3 through 6, that's 12,000 students, will receive art instruction. One thing that makes RUSD unique is our commitment to providing choice programs and specialty programs throughout the community. One of these programs, which is a highlight in our district, is the Dual Language Immersion program. Dual Language Immersion, this is where kids are taught both English and Spanish starting in kindergarten. And 7 years ago, we started and opened up our very first dual immersion program. Today, we have 5, and we're going to open up our 6th school starting the very beginning of next year. Research shows this, that students who are enrolled in a dual immersion program become the highest achieving students on that campus. They don't just become bilingual, but they become biliterate in reading, in speaking, in writing, and in listening, which offers them enhanced employment opportunities once school is completed, as well as a greater understanding, acceptance, and respect for other languages and other cultures. And we have several other choice programs that we just don't have enough time to go into, but we have things such as engineering, or the project Lead the Way, core knowledge, STEM, and other career pathways for families and students to choose from. Thank you to the Board of Trustees for bringing in partnerships and offering choice to increase our students' connectedness on all of our campuses. I'm proud to say that the work around student engagement in and out of the classroom directly supports our 2 core values of student learning and well-being. We are being more intentional than ever before, focusing on the child as a whole. And as we have made this shift, we are beginning to see the needle move in a positive direction in several areas, particularly in the academics area. Let me just share a few with you. Chronic absentee data. This is really important because if we can't get them to come, we can't help them. Last year, we were able to decrease our chronic absentee rate, and chronic absentee means this, parents, listen up, more than 2 absences per month, or more than 18 absences in the school year. And our work brings our rate down to 10.7% as compared to the state average of 12%. Our district-wide graduation rate has gone from 81% to 89.4% in just 4 years, while the state of California is currently boasting an 84% graduation rate. That equates locally to 275 more students receiving their diploma from RUSD. That is a savings to our community of nearly $80 million. And here's why. Because according to one study, the additional services, lost wages, and lost taxes for one dropout equates to about $292,000 over a lifetime. So 249 more graduates is a savings of $80 million to the local economy. And the best part about the graduation rate, when you look at the data closely, we are closing the gap between our different ethnic groups. The African American graduation rate since 2011 has gone from 77 to 89%, while the Hispanic graduation rate has gone from 77 to 88%. We still have work to do here. However, the needle is absolutely moving in the right direction. If you look at the slide closely, you see the disparity that existed between our white students and our minority students early on. And notice how the gap has closed. One of our district's greatest successes and bright spots is seen in our AVID program, a college preparation program which helps underrepresented students who graduate from high school and go directly into a 4-year university. In the past 3 years, we have increased the number of schools with AVID programs from 16 to 26. We now have Avid all the way down into 14 of our elementary schools. And the best part about Avid in the district is that over the 4-year period, our average is 91% of the seniors who graduate from Avid are going directly into a 4-year university. In addition, we focus on some other things, such as increasing the students enrolled in A through G courses. Now, A through G are 15 high school courses that students need to take even to be eligible to get into UC and Cal State universities. We have gone from 31% to 43% since 2011, but we can and need to do much better. The state average is 43%, and we need to outpace the state just like we do in graduation rates and other test scores. We can and must do much better with our A through G enrollment. We have also focused on increasing the number of high school students enrolled in our advanced placement courses, AP courses, as well as the number of students taking AP and passing AP exams. Just last year, we had 2,675 students sitting for AP exams. That is up 20% from 3 years ago. And we had 5,144 tests taken, which is up 17% from 3 years ago. And 45% of those tests taken were our students passed. Now, while we have more work to do, clearly in this area, particularly in the pass rate, we have more students participating, which is exactly what we want to do, and the pass rate is increasing. Just yesterday, I was visiting all the classrooms at Central Middle School with the principal and with Dr. Angela Farouk, and we walked into the AP Spanish Lit class. Yes, we have AP at 4 of our middle schools. And the teacher was so excited to come up and tell us that last year her AP Spanish Lit students had a 93% pass rate on the AP exam. That was from Central Middle School. So absolutely, the needle is moving in the right direction in so many of our academic indicators. Now, we have the second core value of well-being. As we have focused on increasing the academic indicators, one area that is still of great concern is what I mentioned earlier, student well-being. Throughout our nation in recent years, we have seen a rise in adolescent and teenage depression, harmful behavior, and even suicide. And that's affected us even right here at home this school year with one of our students. Just this past year, our Board of Trustees charged staff to provide much more targeted support to students who are struggling with social and emotional difficulties. So we worked very hard to put together an aggressive yet a model program where last year we hired 27 social and emotional clinically trained counselors, 2 psychologists, and 10 behavior specialists. Those 39 experts provided support over 700 students and their families. School principals and teachers have reported an immediate decrease in negative student behavior that usually accompanies those struggling with social and emotional issues. Again, this is absolutely evidence that the district, or as a district, we are walking the talk and focused on 2 core values of student learning and well-being. So, what is the future and how are we moving forward? It's simple. Increase our focus on student learning, well-being, hope, and engagement, preparing our students for college and the complex world which is ahead of them. To do this, however, there are specific areas that we absolutely need to focus on. Number 1, our dropout rate in RUSD is 5%. And even though that is half of the state's dropout rate, nearly 10%, it is still too high. And I commend the Board of Trustees for recently taking action to put measures in place to decrease our dropout rate. And that is absolutely within reason and a possibility, as we have partnered with a local agency to help us provide more targeted services to our students who need us the very most. Our goal is to have 0%, if you can put percent to 0, 0 dropouts by the end of the 2020 school year. Another area to focus on, we absolutely need to focus on developing internships. To successfully attain this vision, we want to maintain, strengthen, and greatly extend our partnerships with the larger community, especially with our business community. Did you know that there is a disconnect between how educators define success versus how business community defines success? Among educational leaders, Gallup learned that 96% of them rate their institution as being very or somewhat effective at preparing students for employment, while only 11% of business leaders strongly agree that graduating students have the skills and competencies that they need in their business. And when employers are asked, what's most important when hiring? Is it knowledge? Is it skills? Is it major? Or is it alma mater? Well, the top 2 answers are knowledge and skills. Business want more youth who have had job experience and who are job ready by having participated in an internship. Now, this is where the miss is, because we have less than 5% of our students that are involved in internships are even working and have a job. We need businesses, a lot of businesses, who will help us develop and establish internships for our students. And we need even better preparation and articulation with our career and technical education pathways. Another aspect of our vision is that we absolutely knew, as you heard President Hunt say, to improve our facilities for new types of learning. Education has evolved over the years. It's not like it was when I was a boy. When I needed information, here's what I would do. I would get on my bike. I would pedal across town to the local library. I would walk up to the card catalog, find a topic, look for a book, pull the card, walk up and down the aisles, looking for the index number, and then finding myself standing in front of where the book was supposed to be, only to learn it had been checked out. Well, it's a different world today for our children. These 3 cute kids on the screen, ranging in ages from 11 to 6 months old, are my friend and colleagues, Christy's children. And Christy tells the story that one night after dinner, she was doing the dishes, and it got really quiet in her home. When you have 3 kids and it gets quiet, you better go start looking. Well, she went looking, and this is what she found. When asked, "What are you doing?" big sister, age 11, little sister in the booster seat's only 6 months, and lucky brother sandwiched in the middle is 8 years. The answer that big sister gave was they were looking up on the internet how to make Jell-O, the jiggly kind, while using the large Duplo Legos as the mold. Well, being a good mom, what did they do? They went back in the kitchen, pulled out the large Duplo Legos, and made the Jell-O, the jiggly kind, for them to eat later that evening. Today, kids are able to get information, all the information they could ever possibly want, pretty much anywhere or anytime at a click of a button. And we need to enhance our technological infrastructure to be able to handle 42,000 student devices all connected to the internet. And we need to replace old and outdated portable classrooms and buildings with a more modern learning environment. Just a week ago, our Lieutenant Governor, Gavin Newsom, stood at this very podium and said that schools need to change because most everything else has changed around us over the years. Think about it for a minute, how things have changed over the years in a lot of areas. Cars, telephones, computers. But when it comes to education, often the classroom and the way of teaching you saw 100 years ago is what you see today. What the Lieutenant Governor did not know, there you go, hasn't changed a lot in 100 years. What the Lieutenant Governor did not know is the exciting work that we are doing right here in the Riverside Unified School District. We are one of 6 school districts around the country and the only one in California who received a Bill and Melinda Gates grant to focus on personalized learning. Personalized learning is when a team of teachers work together through implementing students' choice and voice at their pace in the way they learn very best, by making connections with students and by developing individual plans that ensure each student succeeds in an environment that meets their needs. Teachers maintain the high expectations that the students will contribute to society in a meaningful way while demonstrating mastery competency. That's very different than manufacturing kids by birth dates, when you move them through based upon mastery competency as they prepare to be college, career, and world ready. And at 7 of our schools, 3 elementary, 2 middle, and 2 high schools, we're making those changes and we're beginning to reshape education. Just this year, on October the 12th, 32 of our 8th grade students from Sierra Middle School hosted a conference for 300 6th grade students, held, once again, at the Bournes Technology. The 8th grade students planned, prepared, and presented on how to utilize technology such as Google Docs, Google Classroom, as well as ways to be successful to be a successful student. The presentations were interactive. They incorporated videos and games to test the knowledge of the conference participants. And the conference opened and concluded with a Ramona High School student, an alumni of Sierra Middle School and personalized learning student, discussing what it means to be prepared for high school and how personalized learning helps them. It certainly equips the students with the skills needed. The students organized, displayed strong work ethic, dedicated, and critical thinking skills, walking away from this amazing experience, having done it all on their own. They even figured out the busing and the chaperones. It was a life-exchanging experience for them. Students had their own choice and voice, and they had a chance to put together this incredible conference. Our facilities and our classrooms must be improved to match the needs of every student and the students' expectations that they have of us as they walk through those doors. In addition, we need to work to ensure that every one of our students are connected to the internet while they are in their homes. Now, while great work has already been accomplished with this in our city, we still have way too many kids that go home and they are without connection. If we want our students to be competitive with other kids, not only across the globe, but right here in our very own region, we need to find a solution to this challenge. We want all 42,000 students to be connected when they go home. We need to also increase our dual enrollment with our colleges. By 2020, we should absolutely expect that 1/3 of our graduating seniors have participated already in a college experience. That's over 1,000 students. And we should absolutely see the day when all of our high school students have had college experience before graduating from high school. Together, we have to get students to complete their post-secondary education, whether it be college, certificate, or training programs. Currently, our RUSD data shows us this, that 7 out of 10 of our seniors enroll in some type of college within the first year of graduating from high school. And 9 out of 10 of them are returning to college for their sophomore year. However, only 3 out of 10 are graduating college within 4 years. We all need to work together to change that reality. And ultimately, we want our graduates to choose to stay right here or return from their studies or service to live right back in Riverside, just as Josh said he was going to. So, we know it's critical. Student learning, hope, engagement, and well-being. Keeping our focus on the child as a whole. And what does that mean, to keep our focus on the child as a whole? Let me give you a quick test. Name the last 2 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize. Name the last 2 Academy Award winners of Best Actress. Name the last 2 teams who won the Super Bowl. Now, if you're like me, very few of us remember yesterday's headlines. There are no second-rate achievers in the answers to those questions I just shared with you. They are the very best in their fields. But applause dies, awards tarnish, and achievements are quickly forgotten. Now, let me give you another quick test. Name 2 people who have taught you something worthwhile. Name 2 people who have made you feel appreciated and special, and that your opinion counts. Name your favorite teacher. How did you do? The people who make a difference in your life are not the ones with the most credentials, money, or awards. They are the ones who care, who have genuine concern for your welfare. They are your mentors, coaches, teachers, fathers, mothers, brothers, and sisters. As Josh reminded us, it takes a village. He is absolutely right. It takes an entire community to raise a child. So we should all be asking ourselves right now, how can I become part of that village and be an active part of a student's lifelong story? And then go get involved. As superintendent, I can confidently say that the state of the Riverside Unified School District is strong. We are on our way to becoming better equipped for the future of learning. We are expanding, and we are eternally optimistic and full of hope. We know we have made great progress along the path. However, we also know that we have a lot of work to do. And I said to the staff before this year started our convocation, if you don't believe that every student can do this, then which one do you want to leave behind? Every single student, every single day. I truly believe and agree with what Robert Putnam's research shows. When communities come together and share resources, we are the ones who are going to save the American dream by closing the opportunity gap right in our very own city. I invite you to join me and the Board of Trustees and our entire school district to deepen and to strengthen our partnerships and collaboration. Thank you so much for being here, because as we do this, it's going to be for the benefit of our students, our families, and this beautiful city of Riverside, which we call home. Thank you again for your attendance today and for your continued support. Your presence here is a testament that you care. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hanson. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance today. You may see some people moving. That is our students who are going out to. We have a little something special for all of you in attendance today. So all of our students are going to go out into the hallway. Thank you very much. We're sorry. We apologize for going a little bit over time, but thank you. As you can see, there are so many wonderful things happening here at the Riverside Unified School District. Once again, I want to show my appreciation. I know I speak for the district. We show our appreciation to all of the teachers, the staff, the students who every day get up and have no idea what they're about to get into, but they do it with dedication. They keep smiles on their faces, and they continue to do it year after year. So one more round of applause for all of the RUSD staff. And again, thank you to all of the dignitaries, the business leaders, the community folks, our sponsors. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Dr. Hansen said it the best. He said, we need your help. And we won't be able to continue doing this work without you. So we look forward to, I'm the public information officer, which usually means that when people need information, they call me. So call me. If you're willing to help, if you have ideas on how we can do it, call me. All right? So that concludes our event. Thank you so much. And as you go out, make sure that you see all of our students. And if you haven't taken pictures, there's a picture wall out there. Thank you to our communications team, the best communications team in the country. The video was great. And if you need to tell anyone how great this event was, which I'm sure you will, it was live streamed and it will be archived. If you go to riversideunified.org, you'll be able to check the archive of this event. So tell all your friends how great RUSD is. Thank you so much, everyone.